Welcome back, everyone. Let's play Roller Waves 2 as Austria-Hungary, episode number 39, I think. Maybe this is 40. Oh, we're already up to episode number 40. Anyway, so last episode we had the white piece, which I kind of expected, in my opinion, that, you know, the unrest was high. It's still high, but I'm not worried. Now I think it'll go down because the budget has been cut way back. All the money's going to the people. They'll be happy. More than that, what else? Okay, Strulpeter is there's some obsolete designs that probably need to be scrapped. The reason why I don't mind waiting a long time to do new light cruisers, I think I've said this many times, but even the protected cruiser designs, they are very effective. Like, they hold up really well. The main problem with them is their speed. Obviously, but like the belt, I know that armor quality has improved a lot, but it's not really that armor quality matters unless these things have like 3-inch belt. I mean, like how far do you have to be? Like, if these had 3-inch belt of the new stuff, they still would be vulnerable at under 11,000 yards. And what's the range on these guns? 15,000. So I mean, it's not preposterous to think you'll be engaging at that kind of range. At a range where you penetrate any other light cruiser's armor, no matter what. So that's kind of how I think about it. The armor is not that important for light cruisers. Although I do armor it because, yeah, you might be able to change a few hits into deflections of some kind, so it's not like a total waste to put armor on. Yeah, but otherwise, these are 6-gun, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, 6-gun broadside light cruisers. So you have to say that they're very effective. They do exactly what they need to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the same thing. The Varmer Cats, they probably are also light cruiser, protected cruiser, yeah. So these, for example, I went for 2.5 and 2, and that's better from their perspective that they won't be vulnerable to splinters. But and I guess that might make a difference, but not very often. Might even be the bigger effect is the ability to survive maybe a 1 dive bombing attack. Okay, anyway, so we have the new Nikes coming out pretty soon. The Nikes have served us very well, so we expect the new heavy cruiser class will be very effective as well. Just to note, these are very expensive in terms of maintenance compared to our battleships, like on a per ton basis. However, just as a point of comparison here, they're not quite half. So obviously they're less than half displacement, and they're more than half. More than half is in terms of maintenance. So like the price ratio, I mean, they're more expensive per ton. But they're actually, I'm not looking at it in that point anymore. This is somewhat responding to some of the comments I was given over the last few videos. Heavy cruisers are very expensive in terms of maintenance per ton, which is normally why I avoid them. However, in our particular situation, they're very effective because I actually don't need to have a specific tonnage of ships. I just need ships. So I only need like 3 heavy cruisers. That will satisfy probably as much as 2 battleships or 3 battleships. Certainly it'll be, 3 heavy cruisers in like Northern Europe is going to just allow us to have some presence there and take some battles when we want to. But it won't be that much more effective, that much less effective than having 2 fast battleships. So we'll be able to take all the engagements we want, well, you know, in the right areas with battleships, but we have cruisers right now which can run away. So it's like they can take all the same battles, they just won't win them. But we saved a lot of money, so they don't have to win them, they just have to help us win the war. I don't know, I haven't been able to exactly say what I mean, but I've kind of danced around the point and you probably got the idea. Alright, so then going back to these light cruisers, so we don't have the money to do anything right now. We have this design study, which is like preposterous for us to even try to attempt. But we're probably going to try to do it anyway, which means I'll just end up mothballing more stuff. I guess this Peter is just going to get a refit. So I mean, I'm actually just going to keep her around. I think that they are actually that effective. They can be kept around. 1934 means a lot of these ships are going to need refits, like all these. These Indicas are, I don't even know how these aren't old. They are 10 years old. And I am going to keep them around, I've decided. So in the Mediterranean, they are sufficient. Because they are, you know, 8 gun, 8 10-inch gun. Ooh, well, this is a decision, isn't it? Were it not a jump of 2 quality points, I might not consider it. But this is a serious jump. So let me see how expensive this is going to be. 3,500. You can also get Advanced Director at the same time. This is getting quite expensive now, up to 5,000. If we want to keep them in the fight, and this would lower their speed to... Yeah, if I had made them speed 24, that would only lower it to 22. But at speed 25, it'll also lower it to speed 22. Ho hum, ho hum. I think that the one thing these ships are missing at this point is secondaries which could be dual purpose. There's a couple ways I could play this. I could lower their secondary guns. I don't think we have dual purpose 5-inch guns, which means that what I want to do is actually hold off on this Indica on these refits. Getting 5-inch dual purpose guns would be like the perfect thing for them. Then they'll actually be valuable members of the fleet. Without the dual purpose, I would have to maybe go with tertiaries, which are 4-inch guns. And I don't think that these have float planes on them right now. But I think that with the oh my gosh! Oh yeah, this is the difference between a new ship and an old ship. If we were to do this one from scratch right now, we'd have 2,600 free tons to play with for the exact same ship design, and note all the armor would be better. Like Belt 6 in 1930 whatever is just way better than it was in 1911. And that difference is noted in the game. Okay, well, if the Indicas are going to stay as is for now. Oh, the Fjorten. Like, why am I building a battleship when I need carriers? Oh my gosh, we just have so many different things we need. Now, the submarines are about to finish. 9 more months until we have... That's going to be 180 times 12. It'll be close to like 3,000. If I'm doing my math right, that's about 3,000 extra money. So that's going to be a good amount in 9 months. In 2 months, we'll have some of these things done. These are refits, though, right? Yeah. These guys will be done in 10 months. So in about 10 months, we should be able to do this Radetzky, which means I'm going to try to just build the Radetskys right away and try to build the carriers in 10 months. I want 2 of these battleships, but I will only build 1 for starters. Protests are held in some Austrian cities demanding an end to excessive arms expenditures. A fascist coup has taken place in Italy. Welcome, Benedito. The trains must run on time. Maybe he gave his infamous speech. Together we shall prevail. Minister of the Interior has raised concerns that the high naval expenditures might lead to increased social unrest. What is your response? I think we'll do this. I really don't think that the budget is too high right now. I think the unrest level is high as a product of the war. So we'll do that. Oh, that's another thing. My aircraft. Oh yeah, that's right. I gotta go and okay. So let's rework the design. 114. Is that the same as it was? I really do like this ship. Oh, this does have the I think we'll keep this, but it could be better. Now, dual purpose is not the main concern for my battleships. That should be the concern for the support ships. So I think it's okay to have 6-inch guns to lay down some real hurt on any cruisers that are getting close, if our 17-inch guns aren't targeting them. This will be a 7-gun broadside, so it's basically a light cruiser sitting on top of my battleship guns, main guns. And then we have our dual-purpose tertiaries, which is still giving us an heavy AA factor of 59, which is good. Yeah, you know what? I don't really have much to change about this. I'm not sure where this extra tonnage would go. I'm sure we can't get more ammunition for that. Nowhere near it. Oh, well, I know it's a little bit strange. Well, what about an extra 16? Yeah, maybe. Okay, let's get another. Yeah, let's get another 16-inch gun, which means that we'll drop something here. Just one of those, I guess. That looks pretty good to me. Yeah, that's right. So that weight remaining had gone up. I remember we did get like a 1% decrease in something. And that was at the very first month after this was. So this is good. This is a slightly improved design. We do have the weight displacement to build something bigger if we wanted, but I don't think there's anything we really want to improve about this. Okay, let's do it. Another 1,000, another month, but really 1,000 for a month is kind of saving us. It's buying us time before we actually build this design, which is going to be like probably like 6,000 a month. Oh, let's send a diplomatic note. Who was it? Italy. Oh, yeah. Bring it, Italy. So let's go to the rework the design, but yeah, it's fine. Everything's fine. It's just exactly the way it should be. We will go ahead and build one. So the namesake herself will be laid down. Not quite 6,000, which is nice to see. Monthly cost, or monthly maintenance, it's going to be over 800 for this thing. It's a big, fast battleship. That's not surprising. Damn thing is going to be just a huge hit on our budget for forever on. Now that said, we should be able to get all the other building things out of the way quickly, so we should have enough to offset this. Will we have enough to offset it and be able to get a second battleship and carriers? That's not looking great. And look at that, the Indicas just like that are obsolete. Now, I don't think we've done a good job, and I can see for sure we have not done a good job managing our reserve fleet stuff, mothballing, all that. So anybody on active fleet should go to reserve or mothball. And I think a lot of these are going to go to mothball. You guys can go to reserve because you are the newer designs. Actually, the 8 torpedo tube ones, we're going to have these mothballed as well. Mothball, and then Northern Europe, which I think is covered, might be over covered. A sec. Oh, I guess I have a grieving child at the thought of having too many forces in Northern Europe. It's not that much of a waste of money, but a person like me can't help but try to correct it. Oh my goodness. Well, there you have it. 15 times 9. These guys all have to move back. I think that was probably supposed to be the replacement for the Ravinos or something. So if they have sea on it, that's a better use of people going into the Mediterranean or into Northern Europe. And preferably the cheapest ones, which again may not be those anymore. I think it might be these. Let's get a few of these up here. I don't know how many we need, but we're taking a lot off the line, so I don't want to go too low. Let's see if that works. Then active fleet, mothball, reserve fleet. You know what? Come on, guys. We'll mothball all the destroyers. Carriers. Oh yeah. So air groups. Everyone is going to reserve, which should save us a little bit more money. Okay, yeah, I think we're doing okay. Might be able to mothball these two. Might be able to mothball one. Yep. Oh my gosh. Is it? I think it's worth scrapping this thing. I know this is painful, but I think it's worth scrapping this thing and restarting it. It will be, overall, I think it'll be more of a delay to do such a thing. But it'll be more financially, I think it's better money. So basically we've only done exactly 1 month building this thing, which means we have 5.6, you know, and right we got to get past the sunk cost fallacy. 5.6 is in there. 5.6K has been spent. How much is it though to refit? I'm pretty sure it's more than that to redo the turrets. So let me just get the Radetzky name, scrap this. Lord help us. Then I want to open, I actually want to, yeah, design ship and then open the Radetzky. Bring her back. Get the better quality guns. And I think we just save it exactly as is now, and we get going. All right. Not great, but okay. Yeah, we had to redo. So there was 10,000 basically that we lost to redesign it. Which, by the way, where's my 10%? Design savings for that? Honestly, we didn't even have to. All we had to do was change the gun barrels. It should be basically a free redesign. Anyway, but 10,000, that does change the math a little bit. I think it's still going to end up being faster this way, actually, since it's 4 months to redesign it, and it's definitely more than 4 months to refit the guns. I think it's 8 months. So this will come out a little bit faster. I just have a feeling this might be about the same in terms of cost. Okay, because it's probably like what? Okay, we can do it. We can take a guess. So let's say I wanted to change the caliber of these guns. I can't do it. Well, let me just change the turret. This should be effectively the same. Oh my god, it's so expensive. We made the right decision. We made the right decision. Wow, so 40,000 just to replace the guns on this. So it'll probably be 40, 50,000. So we did the right thing. Wow, we saved money and time. Woo! We've got to be mindful of our options. Plus, this does buy us a little more time for all those other things to finish. Now, as far as Northern Europe goes, yeah, we're over. We're good. So all those people who just got back into the Mediterranean, you can be mothballed, which is not going to save us much. 136 goes down to, so it saved us about 120. That's worth it. All right, we have some unfortunately we have some 1926 designs here. So we have 6 that we need to change out. Yeah, so we'll get 6 here. Northern Europe. These guys are already 1934. It's possible I should probably just scrap these since they are getting pretty old. They are the originals. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's necessary. Oh my goodness. Well, this is fine. Quality 1 17-inch guns better than 18-inch guns in my opinion. Okay, so now let's go over to this and just redo. This thing is so hideous. So we can do the increased depth charge storage. I don't think K-guns. Yeah, we can do both of those. Make them slightly better. Okay, well that's done. What's done is done. Wait, were those the Minesweeper ones? By the way, there was a comment, I think, so I incorrectly interpreted Trifler's comment a couple videos ago. Last video? Can't remember. I don't think that, so my understanding is ASW becomes less effective when you use minesweeping equipment, but I have never gotten the impression that minesweeping becomes less effective if you have ASW. I don't think it works that way. So in other words, I don't think there's any penalty for putting ASW stuff on your minesweepers. So it doesn't hurt, I think. It may not be the most efficient thing because you only get half the ASW effectiveness. There's probably min-max little areas where if you know exactly what the ASW is going to improve to, like if 5 and 6 ASW both divide by 2 to 3, then you only really shoot for ASW of 5. But I haven't done the math. I haven't experimented to find out where those little min-max plateaus are. It's pretty minor. So, active fleet, good. I'm still wondering about, okay, yeah, here's one. The Strelpeta has to go back to reserve, to mothball. And we're still out a carrier. The rest has not changed. Improved dive bomber. Still at 10. Yeah, I mean, we desperately need a new carrier. So I think even though I want to build more than one Radetzky, actually when I scrapped the Radetzky, it might have been a wise idea for me to simply build the carrier instead. But we're committing, it's fine. Okay, these indicas, we need the, what is it, the dual purpose 5-inch guns. Let's take a look at our research. I haven't really modified this in a while, and I think that we probably do want to change up priorities at this point. This is fine. I think that that's fine. We need radar to be, oh my gosh, what a ding dong. I forgot to change that. AA being high is, I think, very important. We can probably turn the naval guns down to low at this point because we have everything we need. Yeah, we need this, we need this. This should be low, it is. High, high. This one can be low, it is. Explosives low. ASW, I honestly think we can put this to low. We have a lot of the really good stuff now. I mean, we could benefit from further improvements, no doubt, but I don't think that ASW is holding us back anymore. Submarines, I think we're done with those now, so we build a new wave. We'll just leave that on low. I really don't think we need torpedo technology anymore, so I'll move that down to medium. What are we missing right now? We have the quadruple torpedo tubes. I don't even know, are quintuples still in the game? What are we missing here? Probably destroyers of 2000 or whatever. But that's not that big of a deal. Let me move this down to medium. Because we really will focus on particular areas. Let's get the AP projectiles up. Ship design is already at high. Dual purpose guns. Yeah, this is dual purpose for 3 and 4. We want the 5-inch guns. Let's get this back up to high. Now the damage control torpedo protection 4 is already done. I'm going to move this back down to low. Fire control should always be high. But is the fire control radar here? I'll leave it at medium. I'm not really sure. Honestly, I think I'll even put machinery production up to high. Let's do some. Well, we're going to shake it up a little bit. There's been a big change. Okay, well, let's just take a look at how everyone else in the world is doing. Budget-wise, we are second to Great Britain by about a factor of 2. Same to the US. Otherwise, we are the 3rd highest budget in the game still. I say still just because it was like that before the last war. And I imagine that the gap between Russia and ourselves has widened. It should have, considering they're now paying us some reparations money. I keep scrolling up and down. I feel like there's something I'm missing to do with the distribution of everything. It's probably fine as is right now. Yeah, we're close. We could probably move one ship back or, you know, really eke out the extra half dot completely unnecessarily. But yeah, sure, why not? Let's move you to the Mediterranean. An anti-French rebellion, man, the rebellions are huge. Yeah, so we'll say no to this. And then we'll refit all of them at the same time. I don't really want to go to war with Great Britain. Lord knows I don't want to go to war with Great Britain. Alright, we gotta get to new aircraft. Speaking of aircraft. Okay. Weak design is still 9. Okay, fine. Now we'll lay her back down again. Radetzky Mark II. Alright. Attempt number 2. Quite a fine ship at this point. Really quite a fine ship. Our yearly budget has been just slashed. Just completely slashed. This yearly budget used to be over 500,000. It has been so decimated. Because I was looking at the funds, and our funds are barely half of our yearly budget. Which is funny, because we've been on like negative 8,000, probably about negative 8,000 on an average for the last 10 months or so. So we've been, bleeding tons of money, probably $80,000. And yet we're still barely below where we need to be. Okay. Well, that will lower and rest, but... Wow. Okay. Damn it, anyhow. Why do you happen 1 month after I lay it down? Okay, so this was bad. This took another 30,000 off of our... Another 10%, basically, over 10% off of our yearly budget. Wow, this is really something. Just getting smashed here. Yeah, now France actually has a larger budget than us. Germany almost has a larger budget than us. Well, that's problematic. We still haven't designed the carrier yet. Okay, we're getting the heavy cruisers done. Man. Okay, a flying boat. Lower range. I think this is not necessary. Slightly faster, but lower range. I mean, we don't need to build it. What do we need right now? Medium bomber. Let's obsolete this one. We need a new fighter. Fighter firepower at this point should be jumping beyond 3. I mean, if dive bombers have a firepower of 4, then this thing is woefully inadequate. So let's go for fighter, speed, and firepower. Okay. I probably do need to look at this a little bit longer though. Okay, we have 1 floatplane scout. We have 1 flying boat. We actually have 2 dive bombers. Okay, 2 dive bombers. And the bottom one is simply better. A slightly lighter bomb. Okay, so we need a new dive bomber. They're probably at the same point in time when you get better fighters, you get better dive bombers, so. Damn it. Stop it. Stop it, I say. Okay, once we win a war, they'll be really happy. So what I probably should do is just go and piss somebody off. By the way, we're positive on money now, so I have two things I want to get done. I want to build another Radetzky. I want to build more. I want to build some carriers. I think we're gonna have to build the carrier first. We really do need it. Like the second battleship is kind of a luxury, but this is a necessity. We don't have freaking. Okay. We gotta clear the turrets. We don't have 4-inch dual-purpose guns yet, and this is, 5-inch dual-purpose guns, and this is actually becoming a problem. This might be something that we need to wait to do. So right now I will do something like this. Too many secondary guns for ship type. Rate of fire. Okay, that's okay. How many do I have to lower it to? 16. Oh, that's really not good. But I also have to keep in mind that this thing is mostly about protecting itself, not about protecting others. So it really doesn't matter if it has too much dual-purpose gun stuff. The dual-purpose guns are really only needed on the escorts. Okay, so she doesn't need a belt of anything more than 2. It's 2 for everything. But 2 for everything. Yeah, we'll just leave that. How's this look now? We're all okay. 53, you gotta be kidding me. What the heck? Heck no. That's only 300? Yeah, we'll probably leave this at 27 then. Do all the things and then get as many aircraft as we can. Because we ideally want 99, which means we're probably just gonna go big. Up to 92. We're getting there. .92. Guess we only need 5-inch guns. No, I'll just leave 6-inch guns. Doesn't matter. No, 5-inch guns. Because it doesn't matter. Advanced director, we don't really need that. But it doesn't really save any weight. Okay, fine. Man, it just, I don't understand why you can't have more secondaries. If this was the Enterprise after the, or during its operations around Guadalcanal, they would tell you more dual purpose. Actually, I think that they found the light guns the most effective. Maybe it was the medium guns. I don't know exactly what light or medium is referring to in this case. I don't think we need unit machinery, but no, maybe we do. We'll do the incline belt. I think I'm going to go with unit machinery, and then we'll just make it bigger. 30,000, is that going to get us what we want? Yep. All right, the perfect number is 100. I think 100 is the most that you can have without getting a penalty for the flight deck, but I'm happy with 99, which means we've achieved our goal, gotten the amount we want. It's so cheap to get rounds per gun that I will just load up the ammunition so that we have more secondary gun ammunition as well. I think that's how it works. I'm happy with unit machinery now. Yeah, so it is, when we made the displacement 30,000, and now it is like, oh, it's about 500 to bump up to 28 knots, which I don't think we need to do. Guess we can get the turret and turret top up to 2.5. Oh yeah, we have a lot of weight we can get to here. I think I'll do 34-24. Unfortunate about these not being able to get more of those. We have 43 tons remaining. Do I want to just get 100 now? Let's leave it with 99. I don't think we have catapults yet. So it's... Oh, our conning tower. Let's get some amount of conning tower. Which case we... 16. What do we get? 16. There we go. Well, it's quite a change, isn't it? Okay, there we go. We will leave the turret top more heavily armed than the turret. It's most likely going to be hit from the top. I don't know if that really makes sense. I can't imagine what that means, but we'll do it. We'll have some fun. Yeah, so this is good. Let me find out what the name of this thing is supposed to be. Okay, this is supposed to be the Lightning Dragon. With the comment, "Go tiny minions, destroy them all." Oh gosh, there it is. We found out. We found it. We found the reason why something wasn't right. I'm going to go to 100 just because it's kind of a nice round even number. 2.5. I'd almost like to get more deck armor too. Now let's just leave it like that. Can we get 18 yet? Now, this is one thing I don't know. If secondary rate of fire is decreased, does that have a penalty to HAA? Like, should I just go up and get the highest HAA? Heavy anti-aircraft? No, but that's right. We don't really care. Again, we don't care. The thing we care most about is protecting the ship from direct attack, not protecting other ships. So the main thing is don't worry too much about the secondary guns. Mostly worry about the AA itself. Okay. So we do have 58 remaining. Guess we can just drop this. Okay, that, we can get around that. And we're at 0. I think this is perfect. Now we just need some good aircraft to... What? Oh, brother. Okay, it's fine. Good's good enough. Okay, so there's our new heavy... Or heavy, I mean it is a heavy... It's a fleet carrier. I don't even know if we should get rid of the old carrier. The Fjorten. This is a refit, right? I mean, God, I definitely designed that, so it definitely is a refit. It got 50 aircraft. I mean, that's really not that bad. You know, that's not that good compared to the Lexington refit. But I think that wasn't even a refit from a fully functional battlecruiser. Didn't they like redesign it mid-design or something like that? You know, it's not like they had to build a flight deck on top of an existing battlecruiser by stripping off guns. If I'm not mistaken, but I don't remember. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. Because I think like the British had to actually take fully functional ships and... Oh, this is very timely. By all means. Wow, Falkland Islands has declared independence. That's kind of a bad thing, because now the British are less spread out. And again, you can't take territory from somebody. Not that it matters, we're never going to take Falkland Islands, but we can't take territory from somebody from neutral territory, obviously. So budget is looking good now. These guys all came back. Let's mothball them. You guys can go... Wait. We're doing okay. We can like fit one less ship or something, so I'm not gonna sweat it, even though I did sweat it earlier this episode. So everybody's mothballed except for the people who are on active fleet. Just confirming. Okay, you guys are working up, but basically just mothball. Don't even worry about trying to come up. That might put us over the limit of like too many mothballed. I actually think that's okay. So we'll just take one of these off at a time until it's acceptable. Huh, wow. French also lost some forces, or lost some territory. Good monthly balance. So now let's go ahead and ruin everything by building a second Radetzky. Is that what I want to do? This design study is in 2 months. I think I'm actually just going to call this video to a close here. How much... What is the monthly... Okay, so this will... I mean, look at this. Is pretty cheap compared to a battleship, man. This is pretty cheap. Build cost is only going to be 3,000 for this. Which means we can get 3 of them. Reasonably, I think we can get 3 of them and not be completely up a creek financially. I really can't see another way to... I don't think there's a way to get a second Radetzky. Which is unfortunate, but I just can't see it. I can't imagine how we can get another one. We're already towing the line of reserve versus mothball. You know, we don't have that many useless submarines. I think I can just scrap this one, since its reliability is only 40. But now all the reliability is 67 or higher, which is decent. Not too many submarines here. 47. Which is kind of that weird number where it's not quite enough to be effective, but it's not so little that it has no impact on your budget. So, probably, I don't feel like scrapping all these things that we just built, but, I mean, one thing I could do is just scrap, like, the 67s. Then we're even less effective when war comes, though. I don't know. Submarines do lose their effectiveness around this time, although tech is slowed down, so maybe they'll last a little bit longer. Lots of little things to consider. Otherwise, I guess what we need to do is go to war as quickly as possible, which will solve our unrest problem. As, you know, that's just the way it goes in real life, right? We just go to war, solve our unrest problems. Anyway, until the next episode, thanks for watching, stay safe, and take care.